Nandipur was a town unlike many others. Tucked between rolling hills and green fields, it was the kind of place where the mornings started with the soft cooing of pigeons and the nights fell to the rhythmic sound of crickets. People lived simply and smiled easily. The town had a population of just over 1,000, and everyone knew everyone else. It was a place of peace until one summer morning when everything began to change. It started innocently enough. Ramesh, the owner of Ramesh Mishtan Bhandar, had just created a new recipe, his famous super spicy samosas. They were fiery, flavorful, and surprisingly addictive. But sales were slow, and Ramesh, eager to attract more customers, decided to take things up a notch. "I've got it!" he exclaimed, slapping his forehead one morning. "I'll use a loudspeaker." He installed a massive speaker above his shop entrance. The next morning, the town woke not to birdsong, but to a voice blaring, "Ramesh Mishtan Bhandar presents the spiciest samosa in Nandipur. Taste it once, remember it forever." At first, people laughed. The old men at the tea stall joked, "Looks like Ramesh is serious about his samosas." Even the school kids imitated the announcement during their lunch breaks. Encouraged by the attention, Ramesh kept the speaker running from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. But soon, others followed suit. The temple priest, Pandit Shastri, who had always used a small speaker for morning bhajans, now upgraded to a larger one. "If Ramesh can make noise for samosas," he said, "surely we can make some for the Lord." Next came the local gym, Muscle Mandir, with slogans like, "Want abs like Akshay Kumar? Join Muscle Mandir today." The tailor, the mobile repair shop, even the vegetable vendor joined in. By the end of the week, the once peaceful town was echoing with noise from all directions. Morning prayers clashed with gym slogans, which overlapped with loud music from a wedding nearby. There was no time in the day when someone wasn't making an announcement through a loudspeaker. It wasn't long before the town's charm began to fade. Grandpa D'Souza, a retired teacher who used to enjoy his garden, now had to wear cotton in his ears just to read the newspaper. The school principal complained that students were unable to concentrate in class because of constant background noise. But the one most affected was 16-year-old Priya Sharma. Priya was a bright student preparing for her board exams. She had dreams of becoming a doctor and studied day and night to earn a scholarship to a top college. But ever since the loudspeakers invaded the town, her concentration broke every few minutes. Her room, which faced the main market street, vibrated with the sounds of ads, prayers, songs, and wedding bands. She tried headphones. She tried changing study spots. But the noise was everywhere. One evening, after a particularly hard day of studying, she burst into tears. Her mother, noticing her distress, sat down beside her. "I can't focus, Ma," Priya sobbed. "No matter how hard I try, that noise just keeps getting into my head." Her mother hugged her tight and said softly, "Then maybe it's time we make them listen." The next day, Priya did something no one expected. She wrote a heartfelt letter to the Nandipur Town Council. It wasn't long or filled with fancy words, but it came straight from her heart. "Respected members, I love my town. I love how peaceful and kind it once was. But now, it feels like we are in a marketplace of voices, each one shouting to be heard louder than the other. My exams are near. Many of us students can't concentrate. My grandfather can't sleep. Even my younger brother cries at night from all the noise. Please help us bring back the silence that once made Nandipur special. Yours truly, Priya Sharma, Class 12s." The letter, printed in the local newspaper, struck a chord with everyone. People had been complaining, but no one had taken the first step. Priya's simple letter became the talk of the town. The town council called for an emergency meeting at the community hall. The entire market closed early that day. Shopkeepers, priests, gym trainers, and even wedding band organizers showed up. The town's head, Mr. Tripathi, stood up and read the letter aloud. When he finished, there was a moment of silence, ironically, the first one in weeks. "I think we forgot," he said, "that just because we can make noise doesn't mean we should." Ramesh stood up sheepishly. "I just wanted to sell some samosas. I never meant to disturb anyone." Pandit Shastri nodded. "And I only wanted to spread devotion, not division." In the end, they voted to create a new rule. Loudspeakers could only be used between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., only with permission and at a limited volume. For schools, hospitals, and during exams, complete silence zones would be maintained. To celebrate the decision, Ramesh offered free samosas to all students the next day. Priya smiled as she bit into one. It was spicy, but not as overwhelming as the speakers had been. Moral of the story: freedom of expression is important, but so is the peace of others. Public spaces are shared spaces. Let's use them with care and consideration.